There we go. I think we're working. Yeah. Man, if these people only knew the bullshit I have to go through to entertain these friggin' simpletons all the time. Oh shit, hello everybody.
Of this program, viewer discretion is advised.
Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Zero Hour here on Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Tom Loki, and of course, today is my co-host, the technically deficient alien in the room, ZeroHour.
It's oh my goodness. Everything.
We're just a few minutes late.
Just a few minutes, and it was totally my fault, so I take full responsibility for that. And ironically enough, I had everything set up early. But the moment I actually plugged everything in, I had no sound. I don't know. I was playing games all night. The speakers were working fine. And then as soon as I popped the headphones in, I couldn't hear anything. So I was telling Loki backstage, I said, well, I unplugged them and plugged them back in again. That seemed to work. So
that always seems to work.
Still mildly technically challenged. So yes, I apologize. We're a few minutes late, but hey, whatever. If we want, we'll go a few minutes overtime this morning. But anyway, it is great to see you all this morning as usual. So welcome to another Monday morning.
You can play guitar, but can't press on a computer.
I can press on. That I can press on.
Press on on
Oh
your
my
computer.
goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Yeah, it's wonderful to see everybody. I hope you're all doing well. Brand new month. I hope you all had a fantastic Halloween. I haven't seen anybody since then. And it's November. Here we go.
Oh yeah, and we already got some great news. We're gonna get to that this morning. We're gonna look at what's going on. We're gonna look at why I'm so excited for another Godzilla film from Toho. But before we start out with all that, Sci-Fi Mubi has become a warrior of Midgard. Thank you so very much, Sci-Fi Mubi. You members, keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla. Thank you so very much for joining the halls of Valhalla. Mahogany Draw sends in a $10 super chat and says, "Morning, brothers. Got a video right after this. If you need an update, everything is resolved with the copyright owner, and they let YouTube know to lift the strike. Just waiting for YouTube to respond. Will probably be sometime today because they don't really do a lot on the weekends. So it will probably be sometime today. I mean, I can't promise you that, but you know, from what I dealt with them when I got my little warning strike.
How long ago?
Yeah, they never answer anything on the weekend. Well, thank you guys so very much for that. And because it's, you know, we just had Godzilla Day and
Godzilla.
We're hearing about this new film coming out of Toho. This one is just for you guys. Let's fire it up with Gojira Skull. He's not effing around.
Burning it down, just like we did this morning. What you felt like changing it up from the AI overlords and just going some old school this morning?
Well, so when I got pneumonia real bad, I stopped doing the shoutouts in the morning. Why? Because it is very, very difficult for me to do. Even I'm still kind of getting over that. So the AI music was perfect because it gave people something new to listen to, and it gave me a chance to rest the screaming white man in the morning.
Yeah, and it put
Zero
out of work.
Didn't put you out of work.
I never thought I would see the day where one little hobby of mine gets taken over by the AI overlords, but damn, did it happen. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but yeah. Have you ever thought, this is a silly thought, have you ever thought maybe playing something quiet, something mellow, and then just coming on and doing your old Barry White thing, saying, "Good morning, Valhalla. Welcome to Monday morning. I've got some shout outs for you. If you want to hear them, we're going to set the mood here on Zero Hour." We have a lovely list of people this morning. I see Mephisto's movie reviews. He knows how to watch. Story time with Psychodwarf 9. Oh my. Man Squatch. The Master of Moons. Gary. Banjo Kazooie Sandwich Worthington. What an impressive name. Cotton Ministries. I pledge allegiance to you. Shellback TJC. I can't spell letters with my hands, but oh well. Project Cambrian, we all know who he is. Dean Krantz. So much soy coming from Canuckia. That's a new way of looking at my homeland. Punkwaddle. Canuckia. I'm assuming he was taking a jab at us mother Canuckers up north here. I don't really know.
No.
Yeah. So for those of you that are still awake after all of that, oh man, let's get this shit going.
We have got Godzilla news. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so very much for being here. We have got some kick-ass Godzilla news. I do not know why it's not like blowing up the halls of YouTube and Rumble, but new Godzilla movie from Godzilla -1 director, greenlit by Toho. It is going down. We are getting another movie. Whether this is going to be a sequel to -1, and I hope it is. Don't get me wrong. I hope it is. I don't want something just. They've started over enough. God help me. Give us a sequel. New Godzilla movie from the director of last year's Oscar-winning Japanese film Godzilla -1 has been officially greenlit by Toho. The Japanese entertainment company creator of Godzilla made the announcement on Friday. Takashi Yamazaki, who wrote, directed, and did the VFX, will return for the new film. He's once again handling the VFX after winning the Academy Award for Best Visual Effects in 2023. Godzilla -1 was Toho's 33rd Godzilla movie and the 37th to include the famous monster. Japanese film. Well, Loki, how can he be the 37th film if they've only made 33? Because the U.S. has made some films.
We don't count some of those. That's
the Japanese film is unrelated to Hollywood's recent portrayals of Godzilla and Warner Brothers and Legendary's Monsterverse, which includes King Kong. Set in Japan after World War II, Godzilla -1 starred Ryunosuke Kamiki as Koichi Shikishima, a former kamikaze pilot who survives an almost fatal encounter with Godzilla and suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder. When the massive beast reappears years later, a group of soldiers and veterans must band together to defeat the monster before it can destroy Japan. The cast also includes Minami Hamabi, Yuki Yamada, Munetaka Aoki, Hidetaki Yoshioka, Sakura Ando, and Kunosuke Sasaki.
I gotta say, you pronounced those names better than I probably could have.
My very best.
Apologies to anyone out there who may or may not have been butchered in the reading of that, but I thought you did very well. So that right off the bat answers the questions I had. It's going to be the same director, same team, sort of a sequel, or at least carrying on the tradition that won them the Oscar last year.
It would be interesting, Benzinger, if the monster that sank to the sea at the end of Godzilla -1 is changed into something else and we get a new Godzilla. It may come out in 2026. I'm imagining it will. Here's the deal. We could get a fall 2025 release. I doubt we will, but we could. The reason why is there's a lot less red tape to deal with filming and special effects over there than there are here. You have to understand something. One of the reasons why films are costing so much and they're taking so long, you've got so many reshoots, is because there are giant amount of red tape and BS you have to deal with here. They don't have to deal with that there. They can go to their VFX team and go, okay, we've got the 16 best guys in Japan. We are going to put you up here. We are going to have your own sushi chef. We're going to have a hibachi grill. We're going to have all this stuff in the studio. You guys live here and work for the next 3 months on all this badass stuff. And we will pay you nice sums of yen. Mm-hmm. And they will go, that sounds like a good deal to me.
Yeah.
So there's a lot less red tape and BS to deal with than what we have over here with Hollywood.
Or what's left of it.
That's right. Plus, they'll put their own money up for it. They won't do this whole, oh, we're going to take a low interest loan from purple blue-haired land whales and then do it their way. Mm-hmm. They're going to do it their way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, when studios like that, small time, and I use the phrase small time because they're not, you know, big Hollywood productions or, you know, multi-billion-dollar studios we got going on here. When you front your own money for this kind of thing, no matter how big or small the project is, in my experience, you tend to care a little bit more when your own ass is figuratively and legitimately on the line for this whole thing. It's not like you're working for the pocketbooks of investors and corporations who are, writing the checks for you and saying, well, if we get it out to enough people, we'll make at least a few dollars back on it. No, it's not about that. There's a little bit more integrity to the project overseas when it comes to things like that. Especially, I mean, come on, and I'm not even the biggest Godzilla fan, but you ask any fan in the world over there. I say world because theirs is very different than ours. That they care about it. They care about it. So I mean, when they're paying for this stuff, yeah. I mean, this would be like us looking at Star Wars or what's left of it, or any franchise you love, man. They have their dedicated IPs over there that they're rightfully very protective of. So yeah, they tend to give two shits about what comes out.
Phantom Outsider says also over in Japan, they came up with the story. They storyboard it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they shoot the sequences of the storyboard.
Yeah.
And they do storyboarding, not in Hollywood. Why? Yeah. Why don't they do storyboarding anymore in Hollywood?
Takes too long. That means you have to hire someone who knows how to draw so they can plan all that out.
You don't win any awards for it.
What a shame.
You now have a council of assholes that you have to deal with, that you have to talk to, that is a committee that decides what happens in the movie. Well, screw that. If it's my movie, let me make the damn movie. Yeah. I don't need to make the movie by a committee. And I can just hear Hollywood right now. I am not a committee. Sure you are.
Yeah, you are. And I hate to use this reference because, Loki and I have beat this horse to death over and over again. But when wine-loving Ridley Scott was a young director, a very fresh director, hadn't even done a big budget movie, when he did that little, that movie about that horrible-looking space creature, the first thing he did after he read the script was, okay, I'll do it. But the first thing I want to do is storyboard this whole film. And he did. He did storyboard after storyboard from beginning to end. And you know what that got him? A doubled up budget for the movie, because they saw what he was trying to do with it and said, okay, here, we're going to send you a few more bucks. Go nuts. Imagine how that works. And yet nobody wants to do it anymore. It's kind of sad.
Well, they're going to get a little more money this time. They're going to get more time. Question is, will any of that sabotage the production? I don't think it will. Yeah, there's always a chance you can pull the Scotty, and he's like, I think you gave me too much time, Captain. Gave you 3 months. You've had 3. What happened? I think you gave me too much time, sir. Yeah, don't take too much time. But make your movie, do it your way, hold to your guns. Don't let anybody else come in and say you have to do this way. Don't let anybody influence your bullshit, because you didn't let them last time. You just went in and made your movie. So make your movie. I want more Godzilla -1. So I'm looking forward to this.
Well, Loki, let me ask you, why should we care what you think?
I've been a Godzilla fan since I was like this tall, when all the kids were making fun of Godzilla and said it sucked. Oh, Godzilla, you watch Godzilla, pussy ass Godzilla. And then 1985 came out. Some people changed their tune. Some people kept saying it sucked. But I've always been there. So, Loki, I was on my way to vote early and my car broke. They must have sabotaged it to keep the Donald from getting my vote. That's possible. Guys, go out and vote. You have till Wednesday. Vote. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow on Taco Tuesday. We're gonna get political.
Let's get political. I have no legal responsibility or legal right to vote in your country.
Oh, you could. It doesn't matter now.
But
you just walk in and tell them you want to vote.
I'll tell you what.
You can show them your Canadian ID and they'll let you vote.
Oh, dude, I mean, since that, current vice president has just opened up the borders to what was it, 320,000 illegal border jumpers since she's been in office. I might as well just tap dance my way across the border. And I mean, didn't they want to abolish the ID law at the border patrol there or something like that? Now you don't need to show us your ID. Just come on in. So I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It used to be like that.
Mm.
So believe it or not, this is no lie. When I was a teenager, we went down to TJ for the weekend and hung out and drank and got pissed drunk. And I remember coming back over and being like, "Dad, I forgot my wallet." And he was like, "What do you mean? I left it at home. I left it at home, Dad." He's like, "Just come on." And we get to the border lady and he's like, "Excuse me, ma'am." And I'm like, "I'm underage and I'm drunk." And he's like, "My son forgot his ID at the hotel we're staying at and here. And so he doesn't have his ID." And she goes, "What country from you, sweetheart?" I'm like, "I'm American." And she's like, "Go on.
Go home. Go home. Sleep it off." Okay, so
I'm American.
He's had too much tequila. Clearly, he can't hold his liquor. He's obviously American. All right, so Phantom Outsider up there correcting my facts. Thank you. I knew it was 320K of something. 320K criminals, anywhere from 11 to 20 million came in last almost 4 years. Yeah, see, those are the numbers I was looking for. So I'll tell you what, since I can't vote for your country, the best I could do is tell you who I would vote for.
I'm just saying we could just walk down there together. Listen, just get a flight up here tomorrow. We can walk over to the poll place and just walk in. And when they're like, "Where you from, baby?" just be like, "I'm from the great state of Texas, bitch." And she will let you vote right then and there.
Well,
no questions asked, no ID needed. It's now instant open Yahtzee to ask for ID to vote. You have to have ID to buy alcohol. You have to have ID to buy tobacco. You have to have ID to buy weed. You have to have ID to drive a car. You have to have ID for all this stuff. But hey, you know what? To vote, shit, you don't need none.
Damn, I was going to say I've got all the check boxes done here because, I mean, I can drive a car. I'm old enough to drink. I can go buy a pack of smokes anytime I want. Weed is legal over here. I can go buy 14 ounces of whatever the greenest shit I want to get my hands on. I might as well just drive my way over the border, drinking a bottle of tequila, puffing 14 cigarettes at once, blitzed out of my mind and say, "I'm here to vote. I'm from the great state of New York. I'm walking here."
Yeah.
Do you think they'd go for it? So anyway, I
need ID to buy NyQuil.
Yeah. I won't tell you who I'd vote for, but I will say I ain't no goddamn crazy leftist. And I'm sorry if that pisses anybody off, but the left, the way it's been going, man, it's crazy. And I'm sorry if we're bleeding through into what you wanted to get into tomorrow.
Oh, it's fine.
That was just my 2 cents. So
all of you
who have the right to do so, take your country back and go vote, because believe it or not, we do know what it's like up here.
Oh yeah, Kay Roberts, we used to be sent to the corner store to get grandma's cutting a cigarette. Now we need an ID to get spray paint at a supply store.
No kidding.
Not kidding.
Yeah. Or
that is no joke. I used to be able to go down and buy a pack of cigarettes when I was 14. I used to go down. I'd walk in, long hair and all. And
I'm sure you were also like what, 6'2" when you were 14. So, yeah, he had a little.
I was in the 6 foot range somewhere.
Yeah,
in there.
Yeah.
14, 15, 16. Yeah, I was in the 6 foot range.
Yep.
So they were just like, there you go.
Yep. Have at it.
$1.25. Quarter.
Man, yeah. a buck 25 back then.
$1.25.
Jeez, I think
and that was expensive. That was at the corner store, so that was expensive. I could get a carton for $8.
Wow, that's crazy. See, I mean, because up here it's always been the adverse effect. Cartons were always more expensive. Convenience store packs. Well, I mean, because unless you go to a smoke shop, which we didn't have a whole lot back then. You're pretty much going to pay convenience store prices. And back then, when I think maybe not even 20 years ago, you could go in and get a pack this day and age, and it would be at least twice, if not 3 times the amount what you were paying 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I could go buy one pack and it would maybe be a little over $6. Now we're up to, on average, $16 for one pack. One pack. Yeah. Like how
Man Squad says, anybody remember cigarette vending machines? I remember the first hotel cigarette vending machine I got a pack of cigarettes out of, and I remember hacking my balls off because they'd probably been in there for years and they'd just been sitting there because no one ever used it. And I was like, oh, cool. Quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, pack of Marlboros.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they taste like Lucky Strikes.
Hey, I guess, you know, when you get that craving and you want one, yeah, vending machine, go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, ban them unfiltered Lucky Strikes. That's right.
That's the one thing I could never do was go unfiltered. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. You know,
only old men smoke filtered cigarettes.
Yeah.
Young men like yourself. There you go.
No, because we
just break the butt off.
Let's break it off. I was in New York years ago. Not years ago. Actually, yeah, it was. We're probably talking Snorty. Is it getting cold up
life
there?
Of Brian. What is up, Brian?
Snorty, I don't remember if we deciphered this. Are you from the Arctic or the Antarctic? Because it should be starting to get a little cold up where you are. The leaves are totally falling off everything now. So I was in New York, probably trail end of 2008, and I was in somewhere in New York, and I went into a store, and they had, you know, the classic packs of Marlboro. I can't even say it. Marlboro. You know, the dude
Marlboro.
with
Marlboro.
I was like, you know what? I'm in the U.S. I'm in the great state of America. I'm gonna go buy me a pack of Marlboro. Man, I think
with
I
the
got
Marlboro man on them.
I think I got through about 3 of those, and I was like, oh God damn, these are actually pretty good. It was still a good time though. Hey, you know what?
I'm used to that Indian spirit up in Canada.
Jeez, I don't know what we put in ours nowadays. I mean, you can get cheaper variants of everything, which is almost laughable. And who knows what they put in those. But, you know, with prices the way they are, sometimes the cheaper alternative is just the better alternative.
Old Gamer 72 Cutlass has gifted a Loki Mornings of Mischief membership, and that membership has gone to War Monkey. What is up, War Monkey? Thank you so very much, Old Gamer 72 Cutlass, for gifting that Mornings of Mischief membership. And Life of Brian says, I was a camel man.
Whew.
I was a camel man.
I bet not many
camel man going.
I bet not many camel men are still camel men out there. There might be a few
shorted out there for a minute. You were like, there's camel man.
Camel man. Yeah. No, that's just the Marlboros kicking in again.
Speaking of Marlboros, someone's got some bad breath on this skull.
Damn.
Gojira breath.
Oh, you know what, Loki? All this talking about our old school cravings and shit. I'm gonna go roll another cigarette. I'll be on Skype.
Nobody gets that joke.
Nobody
you do realize that.
It is one of those you had to be there moments. No, I just wanted to see your reaction. That's what I'll be on Skype, guys. I'm gonna go roll another cigarette. Shit. One day we'll tell the story of that, but that day is not today.
I don't know. We can tell the story of that without getting like shut down by YouTube. I really don't.
Well, I mean, we don't have to go into specific details. It was just
we do.
It was just one man's habit who frequently got in the way of doing activities because he didn't know that cigarettes come in fucking packs.
Oh, that's not what I was talking about.
Oh.
I was talking about who he was going to go up on Skype.
Oh, well, I kind of tiptoed my way around that one. That is a story for another time. I'll be on Skype. Yeah, do you know who's that?
So Zeropium and I knew this guy. I can't even remember his name. Do you remember what the hell his name was?
Okay, I want to say I forget what he was a gaming buddy of ours. He was in our Stowe fleet. I don't remember what his character names were, but I want to say his name was Dave, but I might be wrong.
Dave. Good morning, Dave.
I
don't remember. I honestly don't remember. It's been too long.
It's been a long time. I'm afraid I
so
can't
Dave
we'll
got
just call
attracted to Jazz. Well, what Dave didn't know was, and we didn't know at the beginning either, was Jazz had some, let's say, some extra bits and berries. So Dave would be like, I'm going to roll some cigarettes and be on Skype waiting for Jazz. Well, we've got a Mumble.
Mm-hmm.
We've got like a place where we can all talk, almost like a Discord.
Yep.
Why do you need to go off and have private comms on Skype?
Yeah, that was yeah. Now again,
oh no.
oh yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but yes, we had our own Mumble server, which, like Loki said, was kind of like Discord before Discord was a thing. And there were easy ways where you could go in. Morning, Grim. There were easy ways where you could go in and have your own private room and just talk amongst yourselves. But for some reason, Skype was always the way to go after rolling my cigarettes and getting on there. And I don't know. Do you think maybe they had the webcams going?
Oh God, the amount of deviancy that was.
We had some stuff going on. Now, I will say, before all the haters,
Jazz had a clarinet. Yes,
actually,
you shell back.
Yeah. Before all the haters hop on the bandwagon, if anybody from outside Valhalla is listening, we did not discriminate. Matter of factly, and Loki can verify.
We tried. We did our very damnedest to make sure this was, guys. This was early 2010s.
Yep.
This was before shit. The seed was planted before the 2010s.
Yep.
2010s is when we did our own group. We had our own website. We had all our own shit going on. And we tried our very best to be like, no, we don't discriminate. No, we don't care. And you know what it caused? A lot more trouble than it was worth. That's what it caused.
Yep. And the funny thing was, and the thing I was going to mention, the most important thing, we had this person on our admin team. We gave her a place of authority. And sometimes things just still go downhill. Oh, the seed was planted. All right. Yep.
That's right. I tried my best to, you know what? We're all good. And you know what? They used their situation and they used other people to promote their bullshit crap. And I was just like, I'm done. I'm tired of it. I'm out. I'm retiring. Y'all can fucking have it. And I walked. I did. I walked and I was like, y'all can have it. I'm done. I created the group. I paid for the website. I paid to have it coded. And I just walked. I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not doing this again.
There was a lot going on back then. There was also a lot of outside factors going on at the same time with everybody. Yeah, had to say it. You say
But the good old Dave, every time I'm gonna be on Skype, and you'd
Yep.
be like, "Yeah, I wonder what the hell they're doing over
Yeah.
there."
You know what? And I mean, for the longest time, Dave was a cool guy. Dave was a cool guy. You know, he didn't mind rolling with us, flying our ships around, blowing shit up, getting shit shot at us, shooting shit back at shit. It was good times. But anytime those two would get together, even if we're in a group, it'd be like, yep, all right. Yeah, well, it's been a pleasure flying with you, gentlemen. I'm going to go roll another cigarette and then I'll be on Skype, guys. Okay, Dave. You know, and then
God
eventually,
help me, man.
and then eventually, Dave had a falling out with us because this is when Loki over here and one other person who shall remain nameless.
Tiny Tim's not coming home this Christmas.
Appointed me, what was it, the fleet Justicar or chief of security or something like that, kind of like the one who will bring the hammer down. Dave started going at it with one of our other admins when little Zero had to step in and say, that's it, you just rolled your last cigarette, you're out. We
And
never
did it
heard
too.
from
Look at these pretty pictures.
I saw those on the X right before I logged on this morning.
Look how really that old. Do I look that old?
I don't know. I think the question is, if you let your beard grow that long, would it get that gray? That's the question.
I could let it grow that long. I could, and I could let the suit catcher grow out that long. I don't know about if it'd get that gray or not, but
yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I think mine would, because if
I
mine,
think the suit catcher would stay, but it's lightning.
if mine grew even a tiny bit, I already get the salt and pepper shit going on. So, man, I gotta say the sizing looks okay because Xenos are inherently bigger anyway. That's pretty nice looking. He's got, I mean, they're both kind of slouching. They've got this whole relaxed posture thing going on. Like, yeah, just nonchalant, whatever. We don't give a shit. We're just sitting here hanging out, watching the world burn. Good times. And then you got Godzilla back there. What's up? This is an STO drama. Yeah, we did have some STO dramas back then, Grim.
Thank you, Man Squatch.
Man Squatch, the master of memes. Look at how Brock Lesnar-ish Godzilla's looking there. Look at those thighs.
From Release the McCracken. So this one's from Release the McCracken. Thank you, my friend, so very much. Yeah.
Wow.
Two dudes watching the world die. That's right.
It's fantastic.
Smoking our last Marlboros, watching the world burn.
Because some men just want to roll cigarettes and watch the world burn. I'll be on Skype, Loki.
Oh my God. Do not do that. We're not doing that.
We're not doing that. Anyway, so that was your blast from the past segment of Monday morning. So to get back on topic here, what Loki, let me ask you, because this was your idea. What are you, well, a few questions, and audience, feel free to play along because I love to include you. What are you looking forward to the most? What would you possibly like to see? And do you have any fears or possible turbulence with this project going forward?
I don't think there's going to be any turbulence. I would hope that they're like, just go out and do what you did the first time. Why? Because this was uber successful. This was very successful for them. They made a lot of money. People loved it. They did a second and third run in theaters here in the U.S. It's one of the most profitable foreign films of all time. You keep the formula.
Mm-hmm.
You keep the formula. You need the horror of the war. Why was this so successful? Because a lot of it is Japan dealing with the aftermath of getting bombed by the United States. They got nuked. You never see that. They never really bring that up, but you can tell by what everyone's kind of going through what is happening, what is going on. Japan is rebuilding. They want the trust and acceptance of the United States because they know they screwed up. In their hubris, they were going to sacrifice every man, woman, and child and fight to the their last dying breath until everyone on the Japanese islands were dead and gone.
Mhm.
Because of the atomic bomb, they reconsidered what they were going to do and they officially surrendered. We went in and we helped them rebuild. This is a huge turning point for Japan because Japan went through phases of its own existence. When the samurais died out, when the samurai era ended, and they started bringing in technology and advancements from the West, a lot of the Japanese believed it's time to turn a corner. We're not going to act like this anymore, and we're going to act more Western. We're going to dress that way. We're going to talk that way. We're going to start speaking English. There was a lot of change happening in Japan. When World War II happened, they'd almost gone back to this caste system where everyone has a place. If you are in the military, your child is going to be in the military. If you are this kind of person, then your kid's going to do that. It was a very closed off club. And if you were outside that club, you didn't get to make any decisions for your country. So when we dropped the bombs, when World War II was almost over and we dropped the bombs, they went from, oh, I lost zero. Either I lost zero or I just got kicked off. I have no idea. Either way, it was a huge, huge deal for Japan to rebuild. And I love when I hear, how dare the United States do this? How dare the United States do that? The Japanese were very grateful for what happened because they were going to slug it out till there was no Japanese left in the world. That was their plan. That was their idea. Sacrifice everyone. No one is above being sacrificed for the greater good. That completely changed after World War II. The way they felt about human beings changed. Their fellow man. You see a lot of that in Godzilla -1 when they were talking about, why do we have to go and do this? What do we have to do? You're again looking at the military to sacrifice themselves. We're the soldiers. We always get put in the meat grinder. Why? And some people don't do it. There's a few people that walk because they can't do it again. But a lot of them come together and they're like, it's going to be different this time because we're not going to be sacrificing our friends. We're going to fight together and we're going to make a difference. So I don't know what the hell happened to Zero. He's gone. Maybe he'll be back. When Germany lost a war, it once lost another war as an 1800 European habit. When Japan lost, they lost a demigod. Matt K, what is up, brother? He said -1 was so good. It just simply was exactly what it needed to be. Exactly. It was exactly what it needed to be. The special effects were great. Completely hold up. Godzilla -1 color, absolutely awesome. They didn't just black and white it. They made sure all the tones were right. They made sure the coloring was right. What do you mean color? It's black and white. Well, there are shades of gray. There are a shitload of shades of gray in film. So they did it right. It's not just, oh, they just turned off the color. They did all the shading right, which it needs. So Godzilla -1 color, absolutely awesome movie. Godzilla -1 in color, absolutely awesome movie. I love both of them. So it doesn't matter how you present it, it works. I cannot wait for this new movie. I'm a huge Godzilla fan. We're going to be going over a whole bunch of Godzilla stuff here on this channel leading up to the release. And I'm not rushing anything. Leading up to the release of this new Godzilla movie. We're going to be putting out a lot of content on this channel. So we're going to teach this some bitch what it means to be a Godzilla fan. At least 50 shades of gray minimum. Watch both versions. Both versions are great. Maybe Zeropian went to hide in his maple syrup bunker. That's possible. What the hell? Is he actually texting me? No, that wasn't him. Okay. I am absolutely blown away and excited to hear this news. I wanted another movie. I want the same director. I want the same VFX. This is what we asked for. We said, give us more. And Toho, listen, isn't that amazing? What happens when a studio, and of course it's a Japanese studio, it's not an American studio. What happens when a studio listens to what you want? Isn't that incredible? Isn't that amazing? Now the question is, are we going to get a -1 sequel, or is this going to go off in a totally different direction? The best eras, so the best eras of Godzilla were connected. The movies were connected. You had one continuous storyline. Those were the best. Those were the best back in the day. Was the continuous storyline eras. The Heisei era is known for that. Some of the Millennium era is known for that. But a lot of what happened in the Millennium era is they went, okay, let's make a movie about Mechagodzilla, but we're not going to include it in all this other stuff. We're just going to start over. And then the next movie they did, oh, we're going to do a movie about a giant hornet. Well, we're going to start over from scratch. And it's going to be, you know, the Godzilla from 1954 again. It's weird how they do things. But leading up to Millennium, it was one big ass storyline from 1985, Godzilla 1985, to the death of Godzilla in Godzilla versus Destroyer. That was one giant storyline. That was one big storyline. So from Biollante, which was the sequel to 85, you had Mickey. I think we had Mickey in 4 or 5 different movies. And Mickey was like, I loved Mickey. I thought Mickey was great. Mickey is the psychic girl that every once in a while can like tune in with Godzilla. So she knows. She's like, Godzilla is in Yokohama Bay, Zero. And she just knew where he was. What's up?
Oh, I was just going to say, yes, I everything that Loki just said, yes, I agree with.
And Pops, yeah, I hope it is. We got the same director. We're gonna have the same VFX, the same writer. It's all the same guy. So give us a sequel. That's what we want. Give us a sequel. Continue the story.
So you want it's very nice that I get to ask Loki questions and then my internet goes poof, so I don't get to hear his responses. Thank you, technology. So you're, to summarize, I guess, based on what I missed and didn't hear, you're looking for kind of like a direct sequel to -1.
Yes.
Right.
In Soul Assassin, Godzilla Millennium, there's nothing certain there's nothing confirming that Godzilla in Final Wars was the Godzilla Jr. from Destroyer. But we do know that the Godzilla in Godzilla 2000 or Godzilla Millennium, whichever you want to call it, was known as Godzilla Millennium in Japan. It was known as Godzilla 2000 here in the United States. That is Junior from Destroyer. So, a little bit after Godzilla Millennium, they started just doing their own shit. They starting over and making like different timelines with Godzilla. Oh, well, the Godzilla from 1954 never showed back up again, and this is the first time. So I don't know why they did that, considering they had such success with the story from 85 up until Destroyer, and them all being connected, one continuous movie. But Who knows? And the same Godzilla until Godzilla Millennium, which was Godzilla Jr., who had the reddish orange heat breath that his dad had at the end of Godzilla vs. Destroyer. So if you follow all the little points in the story from A to B, you'll know that Godzilla got supercharged. I think it was from Rodan. Rodan died and sacrificed himself and gave Godzilla all of his power. And Godzilla's breath turned red, and he was able to supercharge his heat beam.
Unlimited power.
Yes.
That'd be great. Also, I do want to, Adega, I'm sorry, I missed your question from like 10 minutes ago. Alien Hive versus Godzilla, who wins? You know what? Plain and simple version, based on the sheer size, I gotta go with Godzilla, man. I mean, that'd be like you walking down the sidewalk and seeing an anthill and just going Hive done. Yeah, I'd have to go with Godzilla. And let's say they start to overwhelm Godzilla. What does he got? Breath. Just breathe on
breath.
him. I mean, he could take out the whole hive from a distance. Blah, dead. But they bleed acid, dude. Could you imagine? That'd be like Godzilla's here. Godzilla's here, right? Right. Little alien dude is like this big. Even if they swarm him like ants, Godzilla could roll around on the floor and probably crush them all to death. But
well, what are you gonna get? Where are you gonna get a face hugger that's big enough to get on Godzilla? To have a Godzilla alien hybrid.
that would be like a face hugger Constructicon thing they've got going on there.
Would it have acid breath instead of fire breath?
Man. I know this would probably never happen, but man, how many of you, I'm sure we could get our AI overlords to do it. Could you imagine a Xenomorph Godzilla hybrid? I mean, because Godzilla's got the spikes on the back, the alien's got the things on the back. I mean, could you imagine the ultimate destruction biomechanoid killing machine that a Godzilla alien hybrid would just unleash upon the universe? Damn, that's fun to think about.
Now, what you could do is if you had a huge, not like a Godzilla size facehugger, but a huge facehugger. If you got it on to Godzilla Jr., then it could blow like acid rings or something. But that would eventually grow into a giant Godzilla, and
yeah. Because I think in order for Godzilla to have like full size Godzilla, a face hugger that size, I think you would probably need one the size of Mothra. So if you can inject Mothra with face hugger DNA, maybe that would work. So I mean, in the grand scale of things, I think that's the size you would need to go for, because that's a long trajectory of Godzilla piping to get in to implant that embryo. But like Loki said, you could do it early when baby Godzilla's running around. And then maybe from that, because you know how huge and rapidly the alien life cycle is too, baby Godzilla could squirt that out, and then we get full size Godzilla alien. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's fun to think about, and I swear I didn't plan on bringing this whole conversation back to Alien, but
aliens.
I blame the Mad Doctor. He sparked the discussion and the idea there, but maybe somebody who's master of the AI memeology can look into that for us. Xenozilla. That's even fun to say.
Every prayer in the galaxy would try to take on the Xenozilla. Yeah.
Oh man.
I can't wait. Give it to us. Unfortunately, Universal does not own the rights to Predator, Alien, or any of that. So that's never going to happen because that's a Disney thing.
That's a Disney thing. Yeah.
Disney bought Fox. Unfortunately, for everybody out there that would ever love to see this, Disney bought Fox.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I
anything
think
that
we need more films from Toho. We really do. I'm speaking of more films from Toho. Mahogany Draws is coming up after this, guys. We're going to set you up to automatically go over there. We're going to forward you over there to his premiere this morning. While we close up, the coolest thing about Alien is that it takes on the attributes of its host. The crossover potential is limitless. Always.
Yeah.
Always. You know, I remember the first time they dropped that sumbitch in Mortal Kombat. I was like, why does it have these long, it has this long blade on it because it got on a Baraka, it got on a Tarkatan.
Man.
So because it got on a Tarkatan, it's taken on the attributes of the Tarkatan. Excellent.
It's fun. It's fun to think about the craziness of xenobiology and all the weird things that we can do with something like that. Man, oh man, could you imagine what it would be like if Godzilla had the capability to populate as often as it wanted to? Like if Godzilla was running around as just like a queen species, and she could just pop eggs wherever she saw fit, or she could drop eggs in the sea like fish do and lobsters, and carry them around and do all that kind of weird shit. And then when boats come sailing by on the coast, you see them then, you know, and then like 18 million baby Godzilla fish start coming up like Jaws through the water. I blame Adega. Adega got all these weird things going on. Zero's gone. He's not only got technical problems, he's got mental problems today. Jeez, God help us all. Godzilla!
Godzilla is attacking the city.
Well, we're screwed. Yeah.
What do you mean we're screwed?
Well, if Godzilla's attacking the city, what are we going to do? Don't do that, Mr. Godzilla. No. We want to see the destruction. Because I mean, the funny thing is, and I know I apologize, we're going a little overtime. The funny thing is, what's one of the main things you want to see from a Godzilla movie? The chaos and destruction that he's going to create. Because in the back of everybody's mind, you're kind of rooting for him a little bit. You know, nobody wants to see Godzilla gets his ass kicked. They want to see him. They want to see him F shit up, destroy.
Well, sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. You know, when it's the end of the movie, if it's been humans versus Godzilla, sometimes. And again, sometimes you want to see him just take everybody out and rule the earth because he's the biggest, baddest son of a bitch on the face of the planet.
Exactly, and they can do that if it's written the right way. You know. When you have your humanoid and protagonists there, when they're written the right way, yeah, you can root for them as well. When it's done correctly, when you humanize them to a point where you can relate to them and you sympathize with them, yes, absolutely. But even so, everybody wants to see Godzilla fuck shit up.
And on that note, since he dropped the F-bomb, we're getting out of here, guys. Make sure you go check out Mahogany in the morning this morning. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to talk politics tomorrow. Why? Because it's time to vote. Get out and vote. So until then, guys, take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak in friend to enter. And we'll see you on the next Zero Hour. Y'all have a good one. Happy Godzilla Day.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.